Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. Tricks, traps and blunders. Let's start. H4. The move so good, it requires no introduction. Ajak. D5, H5, E5, F4, bishop to E7, pawn takes pawn on E5, black to move, and to play the obvious. Bishop to H4 check was played. Rook takes bishop, queen takes rook, check, G3, queen takes pawn, checkmate. Next game. F4, the bird opening. D5, B3, bishop to G4, bishop to B2, E6, knight to F3, bishop takes knight. White to move. How to recapture the bishop? Player with the white pieces followed the general rule which says capture towards the center. Should you follow the general rules without thinking? Black to move and to checkmate in one. Queen to H4. Checkmate. In this game, and also in the previous one, the F2 pawn was moved forward. Next game. And perhaps we should see some games when player with the white pieces won. B3, E5, bishop to B2, knight to C6, knight to F3, E4, knight to D4, bishop to C5, attacking the knight. White to move. How would you continue? Player with the white pieces played knight takes knight, pawn takes knight. White played a move and black resigned, and the move is bishop takes pawn on G7, black resigned. Next game. C4, the English opening, C5, the symmetrical variation, knight to C3, E5, E3, knight to E7, knight to B5, intending knight to D6 maybe, D5, but now queen to A4, black to move, bishop to D7, perhaps knight to C6 should have been considered, bishop to D7 was played, pinning the knight. Is white in trouble? What would you do if you had white pieces? White to move and to checkmate in one. Knight to D6, checkmate. Next game. C4, knight to F6, knight to C3, D5, D4, bishop to F5. Perhaps D takes on C4 should have been considered. We have bishop to F5, white to move. How would you continue? Player with the white pieces played queen to B3, knight to C6. D takes on C4 should be a better move, but after queen takes on B7 and knight from B to D7, queen to C6 and white stands better, but this is still better for black than the move played in the game. Knight to C6 was played, and what's wrong with this move? Player with the white pieces continued with C takes on D5. Knight takes on D4, threatening knight to C2 check. Is white in trouble? How to stop knight to C2 check? How would you continue? White played the move and black resigned, and the move is queen to A4 check. Black resigned in view of this continuation. C6, queen takes knight. Next game. D4, D5, C4. The queen's gambit accepted. E3, B5, A4, C6. If A6, then pawn takes pawn, and after pawn takes pawn, rook takes rook. That is why C6 was played. Pawn takes pawn on B5, C takes on B5, white to move. What would you do in this position? if you had white pieces. Greco played queen to f3, and his opponent resigned. This was the first ever recorded Queen's Gambit game. Next game, and this is my favorite today, d4, d5, c4. The Queen's Gambit accepted. Instead of e3, knight to c3 was played, c5, e3, c takes on d4, white to move. Should white take the pawn on d4 with the pawn or with the queen, or to play something else? What would you do in this position if you had white pieces? Play with the white pieces, blundered the knight. D takes on c3. Did player with the white pieces really blunder the knight? Or maybe he had something in mind? What would you do in this position if you had white pieces? White played a move and black resigned. And the move is the deflection tactic. Bishop takes pawn on f7 check. Black resigned in view of this continuation. King takes bishop, and then queen takes queen. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.